Okay, folks, good morning and welcome to Swing Trading Today. This is Bob Desmond, and I'm early, 6:59 in the a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So yesterday we had a sell-off in the market. Why? No deal. The junkies that constitute what is now a stock market, they are heroin addicts, and they didn't get their heroin. Therefore, they had a hissy fit. Simple as that. This morning we wake up, no deal yet. Here's the scary part, is that when they pass the bill, which they will eventually, when they pass the bill, it won't be enough. So each time we go down this path, I keep repeating this, it needs to be bigger and bigger and bigger to have less and less of an effect on the economy. So let's begin with the U.S. dollar. We did market wrap last night. I said, you know what? In all probability, we're going to move up higher on the dollar. We did see a bit of a fade at the close yesterday, but dollar still looks good. Morning, Big Bear. Dollar looks good this morning. When they do pass this bill, we'll probably get a sell-off on the dollar, and you'll see money rotate back into gold. As gold got hammered yesterday, along with the miners. But what's key is to understand the whys behind it. Gold is flat this morning. Possible W formation forming. Let's just take our crayon out. Draw us a trend line. And in fact, let's create an alert. "30-minute breakout." And we'll see. Do we hold the support level or do we break out? Silver, flat as well. Not much happening here. Similar to gold in that we're trying to put in a higher low. No breakout yet to a higher high. E-minis, I don't like it. We're up. We're flat. I think we may be setting up for a head and shoulder setup. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Now, I need to caveat. Normally I use a 4-hour chart. I'm using a 30-minute chart. Why? I don't know. I just pull up a 30-minute chart. Let's go to a 4-hour chart. And you could argue a head and shoulder setup here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder forming. So we have resistance at 36.80 and support at 36.65. If we break, we're going a lot lower. Not a lot lower, I shouldn't say that. That's being hyperbolic. Look at 36.56 as the next support level. For the record, I'm not predicting a big crash here before the holidays. A reaction to no deal, yeah, that's what we're seeing right now. But no major crash. They'll pass some sort of a bill to get us through the year. After the new year, who knows? I feel bad for people in the real estate industry. I mean, there's going to be another moratorium on evictions. It's good for people that obviously that are out of work, but I don't know what's going to happen to the real estate industry. NASDAQ 100. It has broken support. It really lagged yesterday. The NASDAQ 100 or the triple Qs. And we broke a support level this one right here. And you saw the floodgates of selling open up. The Qs were down over 2% on the day yesterday. Watch for a break of, or at least a retest of 12,301 on the NASDAQ 100. Hello, Kay. Good morning. Would you go over your thoughts on SPLK, CRM? If I have time, I'd be more than happy to. Eric, good morning to you. For whatever reason, they blocked your message from being seen. There you go. YouTube is being very, very sensitive lately about everything. Eric, you said good morning and they blocked you for approval. Crazy. What else do we have here? Where's the Russell 2000? Okay, Russell 2000, which has been a outperformer of late. And frankly, we're short of the Qs, just for disclosure purposes. We're short of the Qs, and we're short of the Russell. Now, possible lower high on the Russell. It means nothing unless, of course, we break down to new lower lows. So we're not there yet. So watch for a breakdown below 1886. We break down below that level. You're going to see the algos begin to open up the selling floodgates. Two key support levels here. Let's see what bonds are doing. Bonds are flat. They've been flat. I want to take a quick peek again at the dollar. Dollar gains strength. I don't think this is going to be long-lived, this rally. But until it exhausts itself, unless we have geopolitical fear hit the market, I would not expect to see gold and silver to rally from here. Copper being a benchmark for global growth, it's not looking bad. It's looking pretty good. It looks like we're getting ready to break out here on copper. Very nice. So copper looking very interesting as a continuation breakout play. If copper's doing well, we'll want to take a look at energy, light sweet crude. It is resuming its uptrend. It is broken out. Very similar setup as to what we just saw in copper. Copper remains in a similar trading range as to where oil was only a couple of days ago. Now oil is beginning to break out. So let's see what the XLE is doing in the pre-market. I suspect it should be bidding higher. And it is bidding higher. The question is, can it hold if the market begins to give way? It looks like energy traders, they're not discounting the delay in passage of the stimulus bill. Gasoline futures, there's no inflation, folks. CPI data coming out today. There's no inflation, but here's gasoline on the move. It's getting ready to rip. This is a daily chart. Let's go to a weekly chart. Look at this chart. It's a monster. Fill up the tank, folks. We broke out here. After putting in a higher low, we pulled back and we retested the breakout point. Now we have we're on the precipice of a continuation breakout. But the Federal Reserve will back out. They will use core CPI. You may get a hot CPI number, maybe. I'm not predicting one because of the slowdown in the economy and the lockdowns. But if you segment out food and energy prices, you're probably going to see inflation. But the Federal Reserve purposely omits that because they quote unquote call it volatile. Now, speaking of ag prices or food prices, corn. Weekly chart, getting ready to flash a continuation breakout. Let's go back to a 4-hour chart. Flirting with a breakout. Soybeans. Moving up higher, creeping up higher. Up over 0.75 of a percentage point. So we have ag, we have copper, we have gasoline, all outperforming the equity market. Even with cattle, higher lows. And it's not that I trade these futures. I look at it as a measure of inflation, breaking down inflation. Lumber prices continue to rip. Okay, let's take some requests. I can go for another couple of minutes. I have a busy schedule this morning. Okay. All right. So I don't have much in the members area to go over. Let's go to live stream. All right. SPLK. That's Splunk. Hey, not losing my mind quite yet. What are you looking to do with SPLK and CRM? Are you thinking about? I didn't read your time message. Thinking about buying dips at 150 and 220 respectively. The first thing I'd have to ask is, why did this gap occur? Is that just purely technical, or was there news? 150 on a monthly time frame. I'm using TrendSpider. There's a link below, 35% off. It looks interesting as an initial support level, the 150 mark. As you can see here in blue, I'm using the automated trend line feature. It looks interesting. If that fails, which given this candlestick, it may, but it's still early in the month. This is a monthly candlestick, early in the month. A lot can happen between now and the end of the month. So could we rally back here and take back some of this real estate? Sure. Definitely would have to test and hold 150 first. If that fails, it's coming down to 142.20. I would really, if you're going to open up a trade at the 150 mark, I would want to use a stop loss right below that level, because it's a long-term support level, and it really needs to hold. Now here's our 142 mark. Now what I'm going to do on this chart, I'm going to overlay monthly support on a weekly time frame. And there you have it. There's that support level we were just looking at. So this has got to hold. And we're just off of it. Where did we close yesterday? We're about $5 away. Third quarter miss? Okay. So it takes time for those misses to work off. I want to check something out here. You know, if you're going to buy at that, excuse me, if you're going to buy at 150, I would stay small. Personally, I like this level down here, the 143, 142.50 mark, better. Volume is still heavy to the downside. But those are your two support levels. 150, as you already know, you mentioned it, but I validated it. And the 142.50 to 143 level are good support levels for Splunk. Now, the daily chart here is implying that, in all probability, we're going to move lower today. So you may get to your support level today. You had a bearish engulfing day yesterday. CRM. Now, they just did an acquisition of Slack, of which I use for our community. We're at monthly support right now. If that fails to hold, 188.48 is our next target. So it's a pretty significant drawdown from where we closed if we fail to hold this support level at 220.55. Weekly chart, not looking good. Let's overlay the monthly support level. There it is in red. Monthly in dashed line, in solid line, weekly support and or resistance. If you're going to buy it, what price target were you looking at? 220. What are you using? TrendSpider? because you're nailing your price targets. Good stuff. I should say not your price targets, your support levels. I'm still on my first cup of coffee, so bear with me. So if this fails, you're coming down here. Let's go to a daily chart. See how we closed out the day. Not wonderful. Let's just check out the Stokes. I don't think 220 is going to hold. We have multiple lower highs and now multiple lower lows. CRM is in a downtrend. I would not be a buyer here. You know, when you pull back and you take a look at your macro charts, the weekly charts, the monthly charts, and you take a look at your trend oscillators, they're not looking good. They're looking all sorts of bad. I mean, when you have Stokes trading down below the 50 mark, rallies tend to fade. You know, so what happened this week? We tried to rally. What happened? We faded. So I would be very, very careful here of CRM. I think that it's going to go lower. So while you're spot on with your 220 support level, I questioned its ability to hold it. So if you're going to execute on the trade, then I'd look to wait until the final minutes of trade today, or ideally at the end of the week, and see whether or not it holds that 220 mark. I wouldn't open up a trade early on in the day. I'd wait and see whether or not it fades at the back half of the day. If it does, well, then you'll be patting yourself on the back for showing a discipline. So, not loving CRM. Great company, bad chart. All right, we'll leave off with Bitcoin. Let's go to the, here we go. Bitcoin, US dollar. One thing that I'll say about Bitcoin is that, let me see if I have it saved here. Yeah, I did this analysis. You're welcome, hello. I did this analysis a long time ago, not a long time ago, a couple of months ago on Bitcoin. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is today, being Thursday, you have the CPI data that is coming out later on today. So it's important due to the fact that Bitcoin trades with the CPI, okay? Here's your correlation, Bitcoin US dollar versus CPI. Overlaid in and you can see they have a good correlation. More than 50% of the times, at one point considerably higher, they traded in tandem. Overlaid in candlestick is Bitcoin, overlaid is the CPI in gray dashed line. And you can see that there is a correlation. So the thing that I want to point out by showing you this chart is that if CPI comes out weak today, you'll probably see a bit of a pullback on Bitcoin. That being said, if CPI comes out hot for whatever reason, meaning a beat on the CPI, that could cause a bid to be put in under Bitcoin. People are always wondering, what does Bitcoin correlate to? It correlates to the CPI. I've already proven it. I went back months ago on this. So watch the CPI data. Let's go back to the daily chart. Now, absent the CPI data today, do I love this chart? No, I don't. I don't like the fact that we're putting in lower highs and lower lows. But is this a broken chart? No, it's not. It is under some pressure. If we take out 17,669, then you're going to see a whole bunch of problems here. But right now, it's holding the 18,000 mark. So I'm neutral on it. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't sell it. Volume, excuse me. Volume to the downside. My voice is going. Volume to the downside was very light yesterday. Let's see what it's doing pre-market. Not bad. You know, obviously it's taking a breather here, but it's not horrendous. 4-hour chart. Smooth out the noise. I could see where they're going to try to form a W formation, a higher low, and try to break this thing out. Right now you're in a triangle formation, entering the apex of that triangle formation. Watch for a breakout above 18,500. You get a breakout above 18,500 on a strong CPI number, or even, God forbid, if you see Bitcoin break out on a weak CPI number, that's a tell. That means it just wants to go up. So watch that CPI number and watch how it behaves. I suspect it'll behave well on a hot CPI number, a beat on CPI, which I'm not expecting, but I'm not going to say it's impossible. But if CPI comes in with a miss, yet Bitcoin rallies, that's a huge tell that it just simply wants to go higher. There are longer-term plans by players. You have a lot of institutions now picking up Bitcoin. So they have other plans for Bitcoin. With that, folks, I want to say everybody have a profitable trading day. If you could smash that like button, I'd appreciate it. We will be live tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a link below to get alerted to 15 minutes prior to us going live. Enter your email address there. We hate spam too. If you're already on our email list, don't enter your email anywhere because you're going to get alerted when we go live anyway. Until tonight, everybody stay safe and have a great day. Be well.